So a nice win for Ireland, 52-17 against Fiji. Fiji, we know they're full of danger, but Ireland completely shackled them at the breakdown, and Fiji just couldn't deal with the amazing ball movement of Ireland. And in the end, over half a century, great result for Ireland, considering they're trying out a lot of their new players. They've got one game to go against Australia, so getting back on the horse after a bit of a clunky start to their autumn series. So a really good afternoon for Ireland. It wasn't perfect, but it did exactly what they wanted. So welcome to this video, supported by Sports News Blitz, the place to go for sports journalism and podcasts. Do check them out. Let's talk about this game. Who are we watching? Well, Sam Prendergast, of course, at 10. Gus McCarthy at hooker. Those were debutants, as were Cormac Itachukwu on the flank. And then the return of Jacob Stockdale and another run out for Jamie Osborne at 15. And I'll talk about all those players as we run through the game, so let's get into it. And Fiji, their Achilles heel is their discipline. Sure, Ireland were on the attack a lot, but goodness me, they gave away a lot of needless penalties. And at the start of the game, a big feature of it was the penalties given away by Fiji, a couple of early ones. Tuasova taking a man out in the air needlessly, and Prendergast kicks right into the corner nicely, and it's a dummy maul which caught out Fiji a bit. Their defensive alignment just isn't sharp enough. They get pulled around too much. As they break off the maul, the hooker for Fiji follows Gus McCarthy into the 10 channel instead of holding his own area, and that leaves Doris for a nice inside ball, pretty much uncontested. Poor defending, but well executed, 7-0 straight away. The players looking sharp for Ireland. Josh van der Fleer, I thought, looked fantastic. The back line, the centres of Henshaw and Aki, I thought looked amazing. Casey was looking sharp, but goodness me, he's tiny, and he got thrown around like a rag doll. Then Prendergast gets himself in some needless trouble after a decent start. He turns his back and puts a shoulder into the open side Salawa Jr. He's trying to block him rather than hurt him, but it is foul play. That's a yellow card. Could have been a red potentially with another TMO, so they're lucky for that, but of course it would have only been a 20-minute red card. So he gets to come back on and actually have a pretty decent game after that. We learned a lot about Sam Prendergast, I think, in this game. We'll get back to that. On 9 minutes, Muntz reverses play really nicely and crossfield kicks to the waiting blindside, who plucks it out of the air beautifully. Then Wainakwolo stretches and probably brushes the try line, but the TMO can't see enough of it. So Fiji maybe could have got some momentum early in this game, but after that it was all downhill really. They overthrow the next line out and it's kind of game over. They try and make big carries, but the defence is very good from Ireland. They're numbering up nicely and their breakdown work is excellent. On 12 minutes, Joe McCarthy pilfers a good build-up. So penalties, breakdown, not good enough for Fiji. They give away 3 penalties in a row and they get in big trouble in the first half. Aki, Henshaw, Stockdale supporting each other on a nice break up the middle. Then they tap a penalty, and again it's just lovely rehearsed ball movement. Completely flummoxes Fiji for the second time in a row, and another front rower, Maui, gets pulled out of his defensive zone, and Doris puts van der Fleer in. 14-0, smart play, just not good enough defensive communication from those big Fijian forwards as they try and smash when really they need to be a bit cleverer. Tyg Byrne, unfortunately, goes blitzing a bit early on a line-out, so at least Fiji get on the board with a lovely kick from Muntz, who is a great player. 14-3. On 18 minutes, too many penalties again from Fiji. Maui gets a yellow just for too many penalties. Prendergast comes back on and straight away kicks the ball dead and then punts it out on the full. So Prendergast definitely didn't have a perfect game, although he just got so many touches because they were attacking so much. In the end, I think he was a net positive, to be fair. Anyway, 24 minutes, we see that Gus McCarthy, maybe his Achilles heel is his line-out throwing. A couple of wonky ones, but his general play was excellent. He looks a real athlete. He looks another off the production line, like a Kelleher, like a Sheehan. I'm sure the next guy is going to be McCarthy. So great to get loads of game time from McCarthy. The perfect sort of game. Very physical, but loads and loads of reps, and they get the big win. Stockdale on that move can't get the killer offload as Stockdale looks to try and assert himself in the game. Doesn't quite happen for him in this one. But by now, if they didn't know before, they know Fiji's kryptonite, and that is ball movement. As they try and boom the tackle, Ireland just pop it away or get the offload, and that big tackle is then irrelevant. And that steady stream of penalties continues. 2 in a row on 31 minutes. Fiji defending their line. More yellow card warning. A couple of mauls. McCarthy breaks off nicely and gets a good offload away from the big tackle. And Casey dives in the corner acrobatically. 21-3, just too sharp from Ireland. too good for those team plays, and Fiji just can't stop them. So let's talk about the fly half, Sam Prendergast. Is he going to overtake Crowley and Frawley for that number one spot? I think not yet would be my summary here. The type of player he is pretty clear as well. He's a playmaker. He wants to sit nice and deep generally, make the play, big passes, big crossfield kicks, very consummate skills, but he's not a runner. He's not a threat like Crowley is, like Frawley is. Very, very different. You can put him in the second line of attack and he'll make great decisions. His delay on his pass is lovely. He made some mistakes in this game, but I think we can see what he can do. But he is not an absolute athlete. So it's kind of, what sort of fly half do you want? He's kind of a bit like Sexton, I guess. Sexton could run a bit, but it was generally his selection, his choices in attack that stood him out. And I think this is the same for Prendergast. So I would say Crowley's safe for now, but Prendergast, with more reps, you put enough weapons around him, he's going to be very dangerous. So with a few minutes before half time, Fiji are trying to get back into this game desperately with their big tackles. It's not working. Murray literally lacerates Frawley's right kidney with a massive shot, but the ball is gone. Casey pings the corner and Ireland just too smart. Fiji can't win their lineouts either, so Ireland back on the attack. Prendergast, Aki, Henshaw, Frawley zinging the ball around, pretty frantic as Fiji fly up, but they just can't drift. It's not in their DNA, so eventually gaps do open up. Then with the clock in the red, Ireland pull off a really slick scrum move. Casey's pass is a rocket, pull behind to Prendergast, lovely crossfield kick, who finds Hansen completely unmarked, so perfect execution, healthy half-time lead, 28-3. The game was really never in doubt at any point. After the half, more offloading, more ball movement from Ireland, but there is a reason why Jacob Stockdale hasn't been in the Ireland squad, as he completely ignores a 2-on-1 overlap, and the coaches will have spotted that. And I think his chance has kind of gone here. I don't think he's getting back in the fold. Decent player, but he doesn't quite have the pace he used to have maybe, and he doesn't quite have the decisions that other players have. So decent enough performance, but not good enough, I think. At least the Fijian coaches have spotted what maybe I did in the first half, and clearly their defence is drifting a lot more to try and neutralise these wide plays, but they just can't get any control in the game. And eventually Aki scores from basketball passing. It's frantic stuff, but they know the gaps are there. The second row for Fiji, Vossa wipes out ref Holly Davidson, but the replay confirms it's a try. So that's 35-3, and Ireland know if they move the ball enough, the tries are coming, and Fiji just haven't been in the contest. Yeah, so then Stockdale goes off with a pulled hamstring, and I think that's him done for the international fold for a while. On 52 minutes, it's a rare penalty against Ireland at the scrum. Muntz goes for it, goes for the corner, 5 metres out, nice kick. They go just simple round the corner, powerful carries, nice stuff. The open side Salawa Jr., who looked really sharp in this game, spotted an unguarded ruck and races through the middle. Good pace to score. So nice try for Fiji. It's too late, of course, already, but 35-10. He's a serious player, is Salawa. On about the hour, Prendergast's passing range is looking pretty nice. Sumptuous delayed passes, but Frawley throws a forward pass under no pressure when there's a good opportunity to score. It's a little bit tough for Ireland as they've had to rejig players as they go off. They've had to put Murray onto the wing. I don't think they'd normally do that. They'd probably put Murray at 9 and Casey on the wing, but I think they wanted to get reps into Casey, and Murray was painfully slow out there, but it didn't really matter in this game, to be honest. And Ireland are just making so many passes. They're running Fiji off their feet, and tries are coming. They're wilting a bit. Nice rolling maul, and Gus McCarthy gets his first try for Ireland, 42-10. Then with 50 minutes to go, Caelan Muntz says, I've had enough of this, I'll do it myself. And he does with a nice step. I think it's on Gus McCarthy, then a handoff on Big Joe McCarthy, feeds inside for a good try. He's an absolute class player, Muntz, but team-wise, Fiji were never in it. On 66 minutes, it's another yellow card for just too many silly penalties, jumping over the ruck for this one. There's a nice flash pass from Casey to Hansen as he goes in the corner off a tap penalty. So 47-17. Fiji falling apart a bit, don't seem to know the rules as they dive on the ball, emerging from a ruck which you can't do anymore, and they're getting absolutely hammered. With 10 minutes to go, player of the match Aki goes on a massive run, simple pop pass from Prendergast, but Fiji are drifting like mad because normally Ireland have been playing all the options, so that is what you do when you've been playing all the options, then play the simple one, but he's held up, so that could have been another one. But they do get a final try as Doris has to be shifted into the midfield. They're running out of players. but it doesn't matter. It's that dummy line-out move once again, catching out Fiji as Kelleher goes back down the blind for a nice finish. So 52-17, exactly what Ireland wanted from this game. A bit of momentum, some great game time for these young players. I'd love to know what you think, especially of those young players on show. Pop all those comments below, like, subscribe, that would be amazing, and I'll catch you next time.